Morgan's letting me do the intro, guys. So, hey guys, welcome back to another episode of your favorite podcast, The Unaccompanied Millennials. We're your hosts, Alanah
and Morgan,
and we're dancing on the video. But
I'm so excited.
We're excited because this is episode 11, our lucky number.
I cannot.
My volleyball number, my sport number, my favorite number. It follows you, watches you when you're sleeping.
Ones are angel numbers, so
what?
Like ones are
Really?
angel numbers. So when you see like 1111 or 111 somewhere, like angel numbers, it means you're on the right path. So, and I think it's hilarious that I don't think it's hilarious. I think it's amazing that this is our 11th episode and it's another Evolution of Us episode.
I thought you turned into a reptile. Oh,
what?
It glitched the video, and all I was. I like froze. I was so funny.
You're like, Morgan's the Illuminati. Help.
I was like, she's a reptilian. I was actually kind of scared. Anyways, it's fine. But yeah, no, we were doing part 2 to our mini series of the Evolution of Us, and we're talking about aspiration and the power of now.
Ooh.
Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. I'm doing like a wave by myself. So, yeah, we're just going to be talking about how we decided what we want to do and how we still don't know what we want to do and how we're figuring it out and everything that's made us who we are personality-wise and a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, like
we're just going to talk.
I'm super excited because I love sharing stories. So
yeah, so it kind of goes off of the first part was the mindset thing, and like we obviously aren't masters of mindset at all. Help me still, but fuck,
I'm almost there, but
I'm like not even a good quarter. But this is going to be good because this is something I've been struggling with for a long time. So it's going to be good. I feel like even preparing for this podcast, it really helped because I really had to like dive deep in and really think about things I was going to talk about. And it brought a lot of stuff to light for me, which is good. And even the past few months, I just feel like a lot of things have just really been coming to light because I've started to actually take into account, like just stopping and thinking about my actions and what I'm actually doing, which I've always been kind of pretty self-aware, but I've never been acceptingly self-aware where I'm like accepting it. I've always been like, oh yeah, I'm not the most organized. But then instead of, but I wasn't accepting it. I was just being like, but I'll fix it.
Yeah, like forcing it.
But I'm gonna, and that's not the approach I should have been taking. But it's fine. We're gonna talk about it. So I actually wrote this as the 10th episode. So I was at the beginning, I was like, whoop, whoop, we're so excited to be launching the 10th episode. This is crazy. So that was the last episode. So
we added a bonus episode in there.
We're not numbering them.
Oh yeah. First we've added a bonus episode. So you're welcome. And we're not numbering episodes anymore. So
we're done.
Double digits are just not for us.
We've just become so famous. We don't have the time to add the numbers into the title.
I still use the numbers to organize the episodes in my folder, but not
your folder. Like, your computer folder. Yeah. Oh, I was thinking like a little tiny binder. I was like, that's too much.
I do have folders and binders.
You do not. I got you a clipboard.
I have it.
What you need. And you have all of it.
I have it, yes.
So I'm just confused. We use Google Docs. What are you putting on the
my thoughts and my notes? And
where are those going onto the Google Docs?
Okay, everything, but I also need
I feel like you're organized, but it's everywhere.
No, it's all in this bin.
And your laptop. Things are falling off of each other.
Because I took it out of the bin.
What is in a Ziploc bag? What is in that bag?
It's not. It's stickers for my calendar.
Oh, that's cool. Wait, what kind of calendar is it?
I have like an agenda, like a physical agenda that I write things in, and then
where'd you get the stickers from?
Michael's. Like,
did they come together?
No, I buy separate ones because I like these stickers.
Yeah, no, those are cool stickers.
Yeah,
you are extra. That's fine. But that's just who you are.
Exactly.
And it's great. And I want to be that person. And I strive. And I'll start off that way. But by the end of it, those stickers, I've lost them.
Yes.
They don't exist.
They're somewhere.
They're somewhere, probably in a landfill, because I'm not responsible enough to keep on to them. I'm responsible, but not enough to. Right. It's fine.
We're different types of responsible.
Oh, I'm very responsible, just not in some ways I should be.
Same.
Accidentally. It's fine. So let's just cut to the chase here. We started this podcast because for a long time, we both have known, I think, that we wanted to do something. We wanted to create something. I love creating things. And my YouTube channel as a child just didn't work out.
You have a YouTube channel?
I'm not telling anyone about it. I'm not even giving you. Nope. That is.
Probably
I don't know the
password
I don't know the password to delete it.
Okay, but you know what? I told everybody that I have a rap video out there, actually 3, so...
Yeah, but you didn't give any information for anyone to find it.
So I don't remember the name. I know that Ghetto Booty was involved, but...
The what?
It's called, like, Ghetto Booty.
The song.
No, not the song. Like, that's the title of it.
Oh, help.
Anyways, that was in my journey to get here,
Jeez,
where I am today.
But we just both love talking, storytelling, giving advice, even if it's not great advice, helping people learn from our mistakes, all that stuff. So we were like, you know what? Let's actually fucking just start. That's the biggest thing. It's just to start, I think. So we said one day, we're just going to start it. If it's shitty, it's shitty. If it's good, it's good. We're just going to start. That's the hardest part.
Honestly.
Is starting it.
Because you're so nervous and you're like, oh, what if people don't like it? Oh, what if I sound dumb? Oh, this, oh, that. But those, you know, are limiting beliefs. Those are fears. And you just...
It's yourself saying it.
Yeah.
It's you.
It's not like there's some horrible bully kid that's like, hey, you shit. You're shit. Fuck
you
off.
Shit.
You shit.
You shit.
But no, that's you. That's your own, like, limiting beliefs, like, latched on your back. Like, fuck you. You won't amount to anything. But you will. You just need to throw those limiting beliefs out the window and continue on with your life, because you can do whatever you want to do.
Walk up to a 10-foot floor building and just throw them off, because they're heavy and it's so restricting, right?
It is.
Like, I lived my whole life not saying what I wanted to say or do or post things I wanted to post because I didn't want people to judge me or say anything.
Yeah, but
who gives a fuck?
Exactly. And like, do what makes you happy, because you'll be the most successful in your life as long as you're doing what makes you happy. Your whole life success stems from inner happiness.
It's crazy. And when you finally figure that out, it doesn't matter. Like, Morgan and I haven't made a cent from this, but every single day we spend hours doing something for it, at least.
Yeah. And
the amount of hours and just time and thought, and just like, we're just putting so much into it because it's just something we found we enjoy doing it. It's so much fun. And it's going to be so much more fun when we get to be in the same room.
Exactly. Oh my God, please help.
Please help us. Send help.
Send help. It'll be after the summer because I'm going away, but
yeah, it's fine. We've already talked about this, and it will never happen again. It's our last summer going away.
Oh. Once I start my business, it'll be we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So what was I've lost myself already. I'm 3 sips into a glass of wine and I'm all like, ooh.
Talk about after the first day of our podcast.
Oh, almost quit. Almost said, Morgan, find someone else. I want to, but I can't fucking figure out a name. And we can't, like, we're going to call ourselves No Frills? Like, no name? What are we going to call ourselves?
President's choice.
We don't have a name. And I couldn't, every smart one I thought of, someone beat me to it. Every fucking one. I'd say, hey, Morgan, what about this? Love it. We'd look it up. It's something. Of course it is. Right? So that was so hard. And then just deciding what color scheme, what photos we're going to use. We're going to make graphics. We're going to make a few podcasts.
The graphics took a while to come up. If you scroll to the bottom of our Instagram feed, you'll see a fucking
the first one
hodgepodge. I'm not sure what that word means, but that's what it is. It's a hodgepodge of different themes.
Just for the first few, because we weren't sure. We were just kind of putting stuff out there trying to see.
Yeah, we weren't sure, but when we found it, and we stuck with it.
We just stuck with that color scheme because God help us. We needed some direction.
We got it.
Thank you, Canva.
Yes, bless Canva.
But yeah, it's stressful, and I think that's why most people don't ever start anything, and why I never start anything personally is because the amount of work and just push you have to give yourself at the beginning to just start putting into action it's a lot of strength to do that. I'm not saying we're strong. I'm not saying we're so brave or anything for doing it. I'm just saying it's a lot of energy.
No,
we're brave in a way.
but we have to own this. Like,
I'm getting cocky, and
it might not be brave in other people's books, but for us, like taking that,
it was a big deal.
We stepped out of our comfort zones. People, like, I hated my voice, but now I'm like,
I still hate my voice, but it's fine.
You know what?
I'm over it.
I'm out here being like fully authentically me, and I have never felt so good and so light and so powerful in myself. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
I'm glad that I'm doing this now when I'm 25 and finding myself and being able to kind of go through life now knowing exactly what I want and like being able to pursue my passions that I didn't even know were there.
Yeah, that's like me. I found so much stuff in myself lately that I just didn't even know I knew it was there. It was me as a person, but I never took two steps back to think, hey, I just want to be me as a career. I just want to be me as this or that. I was always trying to be myself and then be someone else in a career wise. And I don't understand why I was doing that to myself.
Because that's what they taught us to
Everyone
do.
was pushing me towards other things.
Nobody's like, hey, what are you passionate about? Oh, hiking? Okay, go do that. Everybody's like, you can't do that as a career. Sorry, you need to go to school for criminal justice and do that.
There's people who don't play hockey and have a hockey podcast or hockey YouTube video, and they talk about hockey, and they're millionaires.
Yeah.
And their whole life passion is just watching other people play a sport.
Right.
And they talk about it, or they make funny videos on it, or they do articles on it. It's their passion, and they put it into play, and they just did it because it was a passion, and then it paid off.
Yeah.
The risk and the hard work paid off. And I believe in that.
As long as you're pursuing something that you love, and as long as you're being authentically yourself, you will attract the people that you are meant to attract, and you will succeed. And success might look different to me, and it might look different to Alanah, but you will succeed in some way. I don't need millions of dollars to be successful. I just need a house in the country, a dog, and a family. That's my success.
Mine is knowing that I'm doing things that are helping to improve other people's lives or thoughts or feelings, or helping people fix a problem.
I'm changing mine. I like that too. I'm adding that to mine.
She's like, I'm coming off a little conceited with the house and the dog.
No, but honestly, like when we got that one message from one of our listeners that said our last Evolution of Us episode really touched them and helped them through.
I cried.
I cried. I literally cried because that's all I want to do. Like I have a little sister, and I practically have two little sisters because my little sister and her best friend were so close, and she lived literally across the street. So I grew up being that mentor, being that leader, and helping them through their problems. And
don't put your finger in the toaster, all that stuff.
Yeah, or when they got in fights, I would be the mediator and help them through that stuff, and help them work through it and be able to work through their life. That was
a personal experience. I went through the toaster thing.
My dad yelled at me one day.
Knife.
Yeah, my dad yelled at me because he's like, "Don't do that," and it scared me, and that scared me more than the shock would have.
I was sticking my knife in the toast trying to get it out, and people were like freaking out at me. I was like, "We're good."
Oh my god. But honestly, like that's all I ever wanted to do with my life is to help people. So,
and it's a great thing when you finally accept that things like that are fine. You don't have to be a nurse, a doctor, a this or that or that or that to have a career. There's millions of careers. You just have to figure out what you're passionate about, go for it, and try it. And know what? I'm going to be honest. Sometimes it doesn't work out, but there's something else that will.
Right.
Just as liberating.
Yeah. And those
obstacles, fun.
That's what makes you.
Mm-hmm. Like you said in the last evolution of us, you're talking about how the amount of times that you applied for certain positions within your field and you just wasn't the right time. They weren't hiring. They found someone else. This or that kept happening, right? And I think, like you said, that's a sign you were qualified and you loved it, but at the end of the day, it wasn't your passion and you weren't putting it first, so it wasn't putting you first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like
sometimes you just get the job or whatever and you're all excited and you think it is, and then you realize as you're doing it that you didn't take 2 seconds to actually think if that's what you wanted.
Exactly. The only job I've ever been super excited to get was my park warden position.
Yep. In Montana's.
Well, she was leaving McDonald's.
She was so excited. Everyone gets like that when you leave your first job and you're all excited to get your new job when you're in like high school and stuff or whatever.
And then you go back.
And then you go back because you're like, yeah, it didn't work out.
Yeah, I literally threw on my last shift at the McDonald's in North Bay. I threw my grease-filled non-slip shoes in the dumpster.
I threw my shoes out too. Don't need them.
Yeah, and then guess what?
Had to go buy another pair.
I had to buy another pair. And I did not get another $15 off voucher.
Oh, still sad about it. I will never financially recover. As Joe Exotic.
But honestly, like, just learning from those outcomes, I think that creates character, and that teaches you what works, what doesn't work, and there you go.
Oh, for sure. I love fast-paced environments when I'm working and stuff. I love having lots of stuff going on, lots of things to do, getting things done. And working in a restaurant when I was younger was the perfect thing for that, or a faster chain. It was just so like constantly everything everywhere all the time. Being social, talking, you make so many friends because there's so many people. Like it was a great experience in that way. Definitely shaped me into who I am today for sure. But it definitely didn't help me figure out what I wanted to do. And neither did high school. Neither did my guidance counselors. No one did. The only person that could have helped me was me, but I never was thinking for myself. I was always taking what other people were doing and be like, that's cool. Oh, yeah, like they like that. That's cool. Like, I'm not them. Why? Exactly. Why do I care what they're doing?
Yeah, that's right. And I kind of had that idea because when I was so sure that I wanted to be a correctional officer,
mm-hmm.
that was my career goal for about 4 or 5 years. And mm-hmm. I knew I'm going to be a great correctional officer. I'm going to work my way through the ranks. I'm going to be a warden of a maximum security male penitentiary. And I would tell people that.
I know you told me that like 50 fucking times.
Like,
you knew.
Okay,
you were like,
shit.
That's what I'm doing.
They're like, fuck. Like, I knew I was going to be a leader, but I didn't know where.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought I knew. And
you went to the most extreme version you could because you were.
That's who I am.
That's who you were. You're like, warden of a fucking prison, bitches.
When I didn't make it in corrections, everybody mm-hmm. was like, well, why don't you be a cop? And I'm like, because when I wanted to be a correctional officer, people would say, why don't you want to be a cop? Because I don't want to chase people. I want to keep them in prison. Like, I don't want to, that's not who I am. I'm not chasing someone. And then after I didn't make it.
I'm just picturing you running through a prison after someone.
Help me. But then when I didn't make it, people are like, why don't you be a cop? I'm like, maybe. And I started applying for policing positions.
You did.
That was never in my cards for me, mm-hmm. like what I wanted to do. But I did it. And I couldn't tell you why. And that's probably why I didn't get it.
I know, it's crazy. It's actually sad that when I was a little kid, I always wanted to be a teacher when I was really, really little. Which suits my personality to a T. Is being someone who like wants to be up there talking, instructing. Like even when I was younger in grade 7 and 8, I was president of the school. I was like running the events. I loved running things and being the speaker and up there telling people. I'd have my little board and I had it all written down, all the things people had to do and stuff. I loved it.
Yeah.
And I just loved talking to people and explaining to people things. And I'm always one, I'll talk your ear off about things if you want me to, but I'll also sit back and listen. I won't it won't be just one or the other. It's always
That's why you were a
whatever's
good
needed.
manager too at
Oh,
McDonald's.
thank you.
You're welcome.
I know. I think I try my best for sure. I tried to make sure that everyone knew I was on their team, and I'd always do as much work as they were. I wouldn't just stand around do nothing because I could.
Exactly. Like you would leave there sweating, not like some of the other
Yeah.
managers.
And then at the same time, if people had concerns, everyone knew they could come talk to me about things. But yeah, it was just crazy how I almost knew myself better when I was a kid. And then I did when I was in high school, and it fucked me up because I wanted to be a teacher. Or I always remember I would sit down in my in my bedroom, in my little chair or on my bed, and like pretend I was talking to people, and I would like write it down, kind of thing, like all the time. Like, or I would pretend to be like teaching people things on a little chalkboard when I was like really little to my stuffed animals.
Aw, cute.
And then I know, and then I don't know what the fuck happened, and then I realized that I wanted to help people even more than that. And I was like, well, I think I want to be a doctor. My whole family should think I should be a doctor. That's what I'm going to do. And generally think I'd be happy being a doctor, but not the doctor I was being pushed to be. Everyone was pushing me towards like clinical, what is it called? Fuck.
Nursing?
Clinical. No. Well, yeah, actually by the end of it, people were. They're like, well, just go to nursing and then switch over. But I was like, I don't want to be a nurse at all. I know that for sure. Neonatal, sorry, that's what it was.
I'm not sure what
So
that is.
babies.
Okay.
And babies like inside of a pregnant person.
Okay.
So all that stuff. And you know what? It's really cool, really interesting, very hard stuff to do. You have to be very smart, a lot of work goes into someone who decides to pursue a career like that. And it wasn't the hard work that scared me at all. That's never been a thing. It was the commitment to that, because I knew deep down that I wanted a bigger face, a different platform, a bigger purpose than even that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always struggled to figure out what that was. And I've always been extremely fascinated by like the mind and just a lot of things. And it's been really hard for me to figure out what I wanted to do for a long time. I've literally jumped to every single conclusion of something I could be. I'm like, maybe I could do that. Maybe I could do that, because I wasn't giving in on just taking the step back to think of what would I want to do on a day off. Okay, can we do that being as a career? Like, I go over to my aunt and uncle's or my family's house or my friends when this isn't, and we just sit and chat and I talk, and I'm always trying to give advice and listen in. I love hearing about what's going on in people's lives. So why am I not trying to be a therapist? Like, why am I not trying to be a behavioral analyst, like talking with children? It's like, I just don't. And now I get it, but I didn't. And I don't want to, and everyone else, when I tell people them, they're like, yeah, like, I don't know why you didn't do that. Why you're not that either. So now I have a whole entire school and career change. But it's fine. I'd rather do it now and then
it's exciting.
Doing it. It is exciting. But at the same time, I just wish that I would have let myself just take the time to accept like who I was and all that together. It's almost like when you're younger, you think that things are tunnels, things are one thing. I'm going to school for this and that thing only, and you never see all these branches and things that will lead to other things until you're older, or you start creating something. Because when we're creating this, there's so many options to elevate it to, right? So many connections, so many things it can change into, reform to. There's so much to it, but you don't see that when you're in high school or when you're in college or university. You just see like one end result.
Yeah.
So it scares you. It scared me. I could never pick that one. I was like, so you're telling me that I'm going to be a doctor and then that's it? There's just that? I don't want to do that.
Exactly.
A teacher? I'm just going to be a teacher? Like, what? I don't want, that's not, I want more things going on.
Yeah. I know.
So it was just it was just a mess for me, because it actually ruined my life a bit, because I couldn't figure out how to go into something I'm passionate about and let that take me from there. It was all about picking a career, but no one knows exactly what they're going to do. Exactly. But no one fucking sat me down and said, hey, take a step back. What are the things you love to do, not the thing you want to do? Very helpful. But
right.
I figured it out myself eventually.
Yeah. Like, it's so insane that that's not a full class in high school. Because like you said, It's when you're a
Taxes,
kid,
finances,
right?
so much.
Oh yeah, there's so much they should be teaching, but
The curriculum is messing a lot, but it's
it's
because they're
as a
pushing
whole.
everyone towards science, right? They're
Yeah,
like learn how to observe and experiment and take down notes and access information, but they're not teaching people how to do actual daily things as well because they're
yeah.
expecting parents to teach everyone that, but not everyone gets that fair playing field with that stuff.
But like you said earlier, it is your inner child that you need to kind of go back to. You need to go back to what you enjoyed doing when you were a kid before society influenced you, before schools influenced you,
mm-hmm.
before everybody saying, oh, you're good at this, you should do this, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm. Like, is your favorite thing to fucking do, let's say snowmobile? That's your favorite thing in the whole entire world? Find out how to make that a career.
Exactly.
Make a blog about it, make a YouTube channel about it, save up money and start a store. Every year start a charity race where people do like some sort of snowmobile thing, which then gives you traction and you meet people and connections, and like there's so many, like it's
There's
crazy. You never think of it. There's things you can do, even with that example there, or like Gary Vee says, if you like Smurfs, like you can make $1 million a year having the biggest Smurf Instagram
right.
channel about Smurf fans. Like it's crazy how that's like an extreme example, but the point that he's trying to make is that you just got to start doing the things you love while working your full-time job or whatever else you're doing, and then things will sort out themselves.
Right. And like I think I hate that I not really hate sarcastically, like I hate that I'm bringing this back to myself, but I feel like that's what I'm doing right now. Through my mindset work and kind of improving myself as a human being, I have decided that I'm not going to continue to force myself to do things that I don't want to do. Mm-hmm. I quit the job at the bar. I quit the mall. I'm still working at the college because I need money, like mm-hmm. everybody. And it's a good stepping stone if I do want to pursue parks as a career. And I'm going to keep my parks job because I get to be outside and I get to live in the forest and kayak every day, bike every day, hike every day. And that's what I love to do. So taking that and going into what we were talking about, I love hiking. I'm passionate about hiking. That lights me up. That makes me so happy. It doesn't matter, sun, rain, anything. I will hike and I will be happy. I could hike the same trail and every day and I would still love it. So I'm going to do that and turn that into a business of something I can do as a living.
Mm-hmm. And that's great.
Who knows? Who knows how long it'll take, but it's going to happen.
And if you decide that you just want to be happier in general and hobby-wise, and you love biking or you love this or that, then make it a hobby. Even if it's a hobby, you'll find that you don't care if you work all day and then work all night on this hobby because it's something you love to do. Even incorporate it as that. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be a career, but you'll even notice a difference when you start to doing things you love. Even if it's after a long shift, you still have energy. You still have the drive because you're doing something you actually genuinely like to do. Mm-hmm. And then you just hope that it pays off eventually. But if it doesn't, then it is paying off because it's helping you
enjoy your life
and do things that you love to do and write something about you care about. And I know a lot of people don't have like specific passions. Like for me, I was always like, well, what the hell? Like some people are amazing tennis players or they can play the piano like Beethoven. I play the piano, but not like Beethoven at all. Some people are just amazing at these certain artists, like painters and stuff. That's crazy, but there's some people who do not have specific like passions like that. So you've got to start thinking of the things that you do for free and the things you do on your spare time and weekends. The things that when you're standing there, you're like, this is a great day. Like, this is fun. And then, okay, maybe going for a walk, you cannot create a job out of that, you think. But maybe then you decide that you want to start doing some walkathon every year for a certain charity and you want to start that. And you do, and you put work into it, and then every year a few more people come. And then eventually you have a huge charity run every single summer, and that ends up getting you a job and doing something else, working for another charity or working for this, or you start building connections. There's so many more ways than just making money that help you, building connections, experience, knowledge, all these things I didn't realize were just as valuable or more.
Exactly. And
like, just because someone's rich doesn't make them successful. When the people say the richer get more rich, I believe it's the execution, you actually going all for something. People who become instant famous or instant rich, it's an exception. It's luck. It's not
the norm.
It's very rare. It's not the norm.
And
the norm is people putting so much work into something for years or months, and then it starts to.
And yeah, I agree with that for sure. Like, you have to put in the work, but if you're doing something out of the sole purpose of getting money out of it, you're not going to make money out of it.
No.
That's just kind of how the universe works.
If you are, then you're never going to be fully
fulfilled
from it.
And like, this is a kind of mindset thing that I haven't really looked into, money mindset. I've heard a little bit about it and learned a little bit about it, but it's all in your mindset of, I'm doing this because I enjoy it and I am getting energy for that. I am getting pure joy from doing this one thing. And if money follows that, great.
Mm-hmm. Now, money obviously makes things easier.
Yes,
to an extent, and
I'm
it
not
obviously
saying
does relieve
job. And
no, it relieves stress. It creates the ability to not worry about that, so you can worry about other things. But at the same time, with money comes problems, so you kind of have to balance it. Like, you have too much money, there's like it can create problems.
Yeah, there's like, it's a whole thing. Money, we could do a whole podcast on
none of this is like a preach on quit your jobs, like, oh my god, no, not at all. We're just saying, spend your time doing things you love, and hopefully one day it can help you have that as a full-time thing. Or if not, then at least you're spending half your time doing something you really love and the other half doing a job you do love as well. Like, you might love your job, but it's not like your passion, but you love it and you love the people. But then you get to go home and do like spend time with your family and then do your passion on the weekends. Like, that's awesome too.
Exactly.
That's amazing. Like, traveling or different things. Like, for me in the summer, I love biking. I'm not a huge hiker. I will hike. A few hikes in the summer is perfect. But love biking, and I love just laying in the water on a hot day, and just it's just like it's like a watermelon, like things like that. Like, if I could eat watermelon as a career, sign me up.
Look out.
Look out, John. I'm coming for you. But no, there's so much, and it's crazy because I feel like there's a lot of people in my boat too, where you're just so hesitant to start anything, and you just found that every time you started something, it'd never get finished, and you'd say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and it just would never get done in a way of you, like that career or that program or whatever, because either financial reasons or there's a lot of things, but also just because you would realize into it, this isn't what I fucking want either, and it's okay. But you can't give up, because if you give up, then that's the problem. You got to just keep sometimes trying different things over and over again, and trying is the answer, or sometimes realizing that you need to stop, take a break, think, and then come up with like a game plan. And my game plan was to start a project that I thought I might like, and then ride out the whole thing. Every time I wanted to quit, every time I hated it, every time I didn't want to do it, just keep pushing past it and figure out what my real strengths and weaknesses are. And that's probably the biggest piece of advice in my whole human body I can give to someone right now.
Yeah.
Is if you don't know what to do or what you're doing, you have to keep pushing through it, or you're never going to learn. I've never learned more about myself than from this podcast, ever. Because every single time, Morgan and I have already come up with a system that works. For the most part, there's obviously still kinks, because we've already learned so much about even each other from this. Things I never really knew about Morgan and stuff, just not because of what we're talking about, but because just how we work together and who's stronger at what and who likes this more or that. And every time I wanted to quit, I was like, is this a weakness, or is this me being afraid of it?
Exactly.
Is this me being afraid of like the launch day? I think I said to Morgan, should we move it a week? And she goes, no. no. And I was like, and that was me saying we should move it a week, and I would have kept doing that. Well, I'll just move it, and it would have never got put out. And Morgan said, no, we are posting it on this date. We are going to be ready for it.
Sorry,
we're going to stay up all night.
Sorry, you can continue talking, but Tyler's coming inside, so I just have to mute my mic.
Okay. You can keep on pushing it away, but that's just you sabotaging the whole situation. Put it out there and then get the feedback. If you genuinely think it's an absolute mess and you you shouldn't post it, and you didn't give yourself enough time, that's different. But if you're pushing it because you just know, I knew, I did think that we needed a bit more time, but at the same time, Morgan was like, then we'll spend more time on it. And I was like, you're right. You know what? I'll put an extra hour in every night and we'll get it done. And thank God, and Morgan and I both know that without each other, we wouldn't be able to do this. Because there's things that I bring to the table and there's things she brings to the table that work together. Like, things wouldn't get out on time if Morgan wasn't with me on this, because everything would be late. I'd forget to post things. I would post late. Nothing would be consistently on Wednesdays. There's no way. Or everything would be like a few hours later, like 20 minutes late all the time. Morgan's better at that stuff than I am, which is why. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I just love the way that we work together, because we're pretty much opposites in that way. But what I wanted to say about something you said a few minutes ago was, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be done.
It has to be done.
That's something that I've learned through this, is because the graphic. Sorry, you can hear Tyler in the background. That was my text tone. It's like RP32 or something from Star Wars, but
R2D2?
I don't know.
What'd you say?
RP32 or something.
I was like, what is that?
But as long as you put something out, it doesn't have to be perfect, because people are seeing it and they think it's perfect. They don't know what you know. When I was making this graphic for the giveaway that we had probably finished already when this comes out, I was almost smashing my head off of a wall, being like, I can't put this out. Like, this isn't working. I can't, because it's not good enough. But then I just had to realize, like, it's done. Nobody knows the struggles that I'm going through. Is all of the information there? Great. Does it look good? Okay. Perfect.
Is it me thinking it's not perfect, or is everyone else going to be thinking it? No,
exactly.
It's just me.
It's those limiting beliefs that sneak up on you. Yeah.
And my whole life was full of them. I was constantly limiting myself from the things I genuinely wanted to do. It wasn't everything else. It was me. It was me just constantly not taking the second to just keep pushing through to see if you just got to keep, it's almost like when people start workout journeys or lifestyle changes and stuff like that. It's the people who succeed are the people who just keep pushing and learning from what they're doing.
Exactly.
You just keep learning from their mistakes. Oh, I don't like waking up in the morning. Okay, why am I going to the gym in the morning then? Because I keep wanting to skip it and then I skip it. So let's change that.
Exactly.
Don't push yourself to go in the morning because other people go in the morning, or because other people like to go in the morning and you think you need to be that kind of person. No, if you generally hate mornings, don't go in the morning.
Yeah.
Or change your mindset in your bedtime so that you do enjoy mornings more. Like, either one, there's always one of them's going to work. You just got to figure out, either change it or figure out how to work through it. And for the longest time, I was just not doing it and avoiding both of those things because I was so afraid of, almost like I was afraid of actually doing good at something, because for me it wasn't perfect. So why would I want other people to see it or other people to experience it? Because it wasn't perfect for me, so it wouldn't be perfect for them. Like you were saying.
Like perfection is almost a curse, like needing perfection all the time, because it's never going to be perfect. But you have to perfect doesn't exist. That's something that you need to realize.
But the power of now does, I think. And I think that's like the biggest thing is, okay, it's not going to be perfect, but I can do it now and I can start it now. And that I only have now.
Exactly.
I might not even be live tomorrow. So just fucking post it.
Yeah, like
just
today.
Or just do it, or just go for that. Go talk to that person or start that thing, because you don't fucking know anything else but right now.
Exactly. And like, honestly, I didn't even know podcasts were a thing until probably about 3 years ago.
Oh, really?
I would have never thought, like, as soon as I
They're
started
newer. They're
listening,
more of a newerish thing. They've been around for a while, but
like
they are
throughout
newer.
all of my post-secondary and like my life up until post-secondary, I had no idea that it was even a thing. But I always knew I would do something big with my life. I always knew, like, I just would always joke in high school, like, I'm going to be famous one day. I don't know how or why, but I'm going to be. But I don't think it's like fame in the traditional sense. I think it's going to be, I am going to be a leader of some sort for however many people, whatever that platform
if it's 10,
looks like.
if it's 4, if it's 12, whatever.
Exactly. But as long as I touch someone's life in some positive way and help them, I'm good.
No, I agree.
Yeah, so it's just amazing, like, how little things, just little seemingly insignificant things happen in your life, and it turns into such a big part of your life without even you realizing it.
Oh, I honestly believe that everything that you have that someone else doesn't is a privilege. It's not, you didn't earn it or anything like that. It's a privilege. And everything that you do is almost like a bunch of circumstances. And if you were ready for it, then you get it. If you don't, then you don't.
It's like the door being open thing. Like,
it's only open for a few seconds. So if you're going or you're not going. And the problem was, is I just wasn't going through them. Not because I didn't think I could, but because I just wasn't mentally ready, I guess, like myself personally. And I just didn't know what was keeping me. It was almost like I was kind of like, what's in that fucking dark door?
Right.
What the fuck?
Fear.
But when you start to just go through them, it's almost like when you ride your roller coaster the first time. I also use this analogy in the other evolution one. You're like, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I'm scared. I fucking hate roller coasters. Then you do it and you're like, woo, what the fuck? And you get that picture and you're like fucking wild in the photo. And you're like, look disgusting because like your hair is flying everywhere.
Oh my God, stop.
But it's true though.
Honestly.
And then you do it and you're like, wow, I love roller coasters. What the fuck's wrong with me?
I literally love that analogy of life, because if I think of that in my life, that is almost everything that I've done. I wouldn't have taken that job at Rushing River, or just in a smaller scale with the Ignite program that I'm taking right now. There are lives every day, and you can catch the replay if you want, or like just online, you can watch it, or you can be accountable and show up for that live and actually engage.
So accountability is a big thing.
Exactly. And last night, because makeup's not in my comfort zone, I could have just said, oh, I'm going to catch the replay and then never do my makeup. But
which is what old Morgan would have probably done, right?
Exactly. I would have been like, oh no, like I'm not really feeling it. Like I'm not comfortable. But instead, no, I went out, spent $191 on my new makeup.
So we're not saying Morgan is financially any better at the moment.
I'm not financially better, but
mentally 100%.
So I showed up and I tried it, and now I think I'm going to try it more. And that's awesome. And now I have my 3 rings on. The 3 rings that I own in the world, I have on my hand.
Oh, good. Yeah, my friend, so Julia, who's going to be in one of our future podcasts, we're actually going to be recording with her probably next week or the week after.
Yay.
Very excited about that. So her and I are both taking a course with Western right now. It's like a 6-week free entrepreneur course, and it's awesome. Like, I'm loving it. She's loving it. We're calling each other after, being like, what are your ideas? What's happening? Here are my notes. Well, like, that's just awesome. Loving it because it's so rich in content. But it's just nice because we both don't have to be taking this. It's not, we're not accountable to be taking it. We're taking it because, and we're like, I'm making myself take it. And I made myself take the first one, like the roller coaster. I made myself, I didn't have to. I was like, entrepreneurship. I was like, like, I do find that interesting, but like, do I want to take a 6-week course in it? I don't know. So I was like, fuck it. I'm going to take the first one. Probably just going to be a waste of my time. I take it, completely not a waste of my time.
Loved it.
And loved it. Loved it. And now I'm so excited every Tuesday for it.
That's awesome.
So,
I love that.
You just got to try it out. I think that's the biggest thing.
You just got to take that one step. And I keep on talking about fear, and I don't know, I want people to visualize it as I'm visualizing it, okay? Fear to me is, you know, in that first Harry Potter, the Philosopher's Stone, when he's in the basement or whatever, and the fire kind of just goes around him.
Yes.
And he could easily jump through that fire and get out of there away from Voldemort, but he doesn't. He feels like he's stuck. But that's just fear. Like, I picture now every limiting belief, every fear that I encounter, I picture it as just like a little line of fire in front of me, and you can either be so scared of it or just jump right over it and be like, peace. Or
so fight or flight.
Right? Or you can tame it and be like, okay, fear, I know that you're there, and I know that, like, thank you for trying to save my ego, or thank you for trying to keep me safe, but I'm going to do this anyways. Walk with me. And I picture that as a lion, because I'm a Leo and I love lions. So I picture it as a lion that's trying to attack you, and then you're like, whoa, we're on the same team. And then they're like, oh yeah, and then we're walking together down the street into the sunset.
Oh my gosh, that's too much.
I love it.
But fear is a good thing as well. Like, there's a reason why you're scared of things. It is to protect you. So, like, if you're down the street and it's dark and you're getting scared because something seems off, something's probably off.
Oh yeah.
But if you're at home and you're too scared to post something, or to start a project or an article, or to do a course because you don't know if you're going to do good in it, that's not a good enough fear. Like, that's
an
you
excuse,
restricting yourself and using an excuse to get yourself out of something that your anxiety is obviously saying, I'm not good enough for that.
You brought up the dark street thing, because I think there's a difference between fear and anxiety and a gut feeling. And that I've encountered,
like, actually being aware of what's going on.
I've encountered that time and time again, even just driving, when I'm like, oh, should I turn left or should I go straight? And then my gut says turn left. I always listen to my gut, because you don't know. Like, and to this day, I've probably saved myself a handful of times, because I've taken, even though it might take a little bit longer, I always still go the way that my gut says. And especially, like, as security, I always follow my gut. Doesn't matter what my job title is. Like, I'm security, but this is my one life. I'm not paid enough to go look in the bush, go after a sketchy guy that's been lurking around. No, I'm going to call the cops. We're not saying
don't just be like, I'm going to conquer my fear of murderers.
No, like, don't go hiking in the forest at night, or don't go on a walk downtown by yourself at night, or anything dangerous. Like, danger and fear and danger and anxiety are completely different things. Like, I'm not saying
danger and fear and danger. No, just don't let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. That is my favorite quote, and you know where that's from? Are you
Cinderella story?
Cinderella story.
Yo, I got goosebumps, man.
Did you?
That's fucking awesome.
I remember that still from that movie when I was a little kid, because I was like, yes, Hilary Duff.
Oh my god. Yes. I'm writing that down, because I'm putting that in the description.
It is so true. That is exactly what it is. It's the fear of getting up there and fucking up, making you not do it at all. But how do you know you're going to fuck up? You didn't even try it. And I'm not saying everyone listen to me preach. I know this. Oh, sorry, my garage, the alarm's going off.
That's okay.
And it scared the shit out of me, because I thought there was like 90 ambulances or fire trucks or something going outside.
Okay, what's happening?
Oh, my heart. The garage alarm was going off.
There's an alarm in your garage? Oh, because of the bike and the Corvette?
Well, yeah, because there's a motorcycle and the Corvette and stuff.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god, no, but dude, like, goosebumps from that. I love that movie. I'm going to watch it after we're done here.
No, it's so true though, because, and I'm saying this because it's me. Like, I watched a TED Talk from this guy who talked about procrastination, and the only reason I watched it is because right from the beginning he said, this is me, a procrastinator, talking about why this has ruined parts of my life, kind of thing. And he did such a great a whole explanation of procrastination and why people procrastinate and why it happens in the whole process. And he made it so realistic and you're just like, exactly. That's exactly why. And it's not because you don't care. It's because it's so much easier to do it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not responsible or accountable for anything, because tomorrow might not even be a thing.
Right.
You don't even know. Of course, everyone thinks there's gonna be a tomorrow. Like we all hope and we assume there should be a tomorrow, but it's just so much easier to just push it off to the next day until your panic. He calls it the panic monkey or whatever it's called, or panic monster comes in the last minute and takes that monkey off the wheel and says, "We got to do this." And then you kind of get to what you're like. You start fucking writing that essay all night, drinking coffee all night because it's due the next day.
Oh God.
See,
don't even get me started on procrastination.
I've done that so many times, especially in my my ACAD class in university. I'd always do the article 2 days before it was due.
The amount of times that I literally 6 hours before the deadline, I started researching for an essay.
Me too. I've done that. I'd be like, oh, I'll just take the 10%, whatever.
Literally, I was drunk.
Why?
Writing an essay. Weeks? Why? And why was a night out on a Wednesday more important than an essay worth 15%? And why did I
this
write,
is an
write
actual
a drunk?
story. This is an actual story. Morgan, I show up to Morgan's house. And I was like, I was so excited to go out. And by the way, before this, she also called me because I had nothing due the next day. So I was ready to go. I might have something due the following day, like after that, but nothing due on Thursday. So I was ready to go. She's like, okay, but you're going to have to pre-drink here until I'm done my essay because it's due at midnight.
Literally.
So I go over, sit there on her bed, drinking. She's drinking, finishing her fucking essay. It's like 11:58. She's like fucking trying to like send it to her prof, all nervous, sweating.
It's like decent intro, all right, first paragraph, half a second paragraph, a sentence as the conclusion.
Shitty
I skipped a whole paragraph.
No, like, I know.
What?
And sometimes you do put a great work when you're put under stress, like when you have things to do, but you're never going to put out as good of work if you actually prepare yourself even a little bit by doing like the research and the things that you can do at the beginning, get yourself set up so that at least when it's go time, you are all set up already. And then that's when you do the best work. That's right. 90s, 80s,
for me,
100s.
Essay, like just going back to post-secondary, the best essays I ever wrote were for my criminal classes or for my criminal organization classes, the ones on Hells Angels, the things that I actually was interested in. Because I would sit there for 8 hours and find the best articles, find the best quotes.
I remember you were so excited telling me about this one woman murderer. What was her?
Fuck yeah. I forget her, Elaine something. The Angel of Death. She was a nurse.
And you were like, listen up, this is crazy shit. And I don't even want to think about it. It fucking creeps me out. But it's true. Like you just were so passionate about it. Yeah. Mine were my sociology of consumer consumption and all those courses. Loved it. All the stuff on how evolution and has created us into the consumers and stuff that we are now and all that stuff. Love it. Gets you into the head. You're just thinking like it's some of the best books I've read are on that.
Awesome.
And articles. I kept them all. I still have them. Those I've sold so many of my textbooks and stuff, but I will not sell those.
Yeah, I have specific ones that I've kept, like the McMafia book and stuff like that.
But it's just crazy. That was just electives I was taking. Why was that not my degree then? Like, because why? I'll tell you. Because everyone says, well, you can't get a job with an arts degree, or you can't get a job with psychology. Everyone takes psychology. So I was like, well, I guess I shouldn't fucking take that because that's not very smart of me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and like a lot of people go by, oh, I'm going to make this much money a year if I get this job.
That's exactly what I was doing. That's exactly what I was doing.
When I was choosing what I wanted to go to school for, I'd be like, oh, I'm going to be a correctional officer. They're like, oh, how much do they make a year? I'm like, I have no fucking idea. I just want to be a correctional officer.
Oh,
I never went by money because I never understood, oh, they make $80,000 a year. Like, what does that mean per hour? Please tell me. Like, I don't know. I live my life per hour, sir.
Oh, sir. Per hour. You can't afford me.
Oh my God. I think did we talk about where we were to where we've been? Like, no,
we haven't talked about the outline at all.
But I love where this is went. I love this conversation. I love it all.
I'm like looking back, and I'm also trying not to say like so much. It's so difficult what to say when my brain's trying to get the next word. I either say or like, and I hate it.
It's okay.
It's okay. You're like, stop. It's okay. Okay, where the hell were we? We talked about that kind of. Okay, this is what I want to talk about. I've already a little bit discussed strengths and weaknesses, but this is the craziest thing is you could be self-aware and know that you like things and don't like things, or you're not strong at things and whatever, and you are strong at other things. But to accept it and decide to just cut the things that you're not strong at out of your life and just focus your energy on things you like and you're strong at, it's a lot harder than you think it would be to actually just accept that and push things out of your life.
And some things you can't push out of your life.
Oh, no. But I mean, the things that you generally don't like and you keep trying to strive to be, why?
Oh, exactly.
Because to make other people happy, to live up to a standard. Exactly. So it's crazy. So I've always struggled to do that. I've always struggled to accept the things that I was strong and not strong at. And I've always told myself, well, you can work on it, you can change it, you can fix it. And yes, ideally, you absolutely can, right? Obviously. But when you generally do not enjoy something, it's generally not your strength. You are forcing yourself to learn in a different way and all that. And you are creating this disconnect from who you are and who you want to be. There's a difference. Like you might not be able to be everything you want to be, which is fine. You have to accept that. But you also can be everything you want to be if you change. Like there's just so I don't even know how to explain this properly.
I have a way of explaining it, I think.
Okay, you try.
Okay, so let me know if this is off base, but I think what you're trying to say is to be happy, you don't always have to be what everybody's telling you have to be. If I want to be happy, people say, oh, you need a family, you need a house, you need this, you need a good car, blah, 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 you need money. But no, what will I feel when I am my next level self, where I want to be in life? I'm going to be happy. I'm going to have a dog. And I'm going to feel powerful and confident and completely 100% authentically myself.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever gets me there, whatever I feel aligned with in my life to get me there, that's all that I need.
Mm-hmm.
Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah. It
focus on the things
exactly
that
what you
are
said
aligned
made sense.
with you.
Yeah, my thing is I was just trying to explain in a way, I think I just started saying it wrong, is that there's being who you want to be, which is things that you're strong at and that you totally can accomplish with hard work and dedication. Then there's being things that you want to be that you are not strong at and is very difficult for you to do because you don't learn that way, or you're not wired that way, which is also fine if you're going to put the work in and all that, but it's very detrimental to your health because you're getting a lot of pushback because you're going in a way, it's almost like you're swimming in like molasses instead of water because
you're swimming against
the weight. Yeah, which is fine. And you may get there and you may be so happy once you're there, and that's fine. But there's some times where you're never going to get to that point. You have to also realize that you can do anything you want to a point. That's what my point was going to be.
It'll be
like, don't keep doing something that is causing you harm and sadness and all that stuff.
Exactly. Like there will always be struggles in life. Mm-hmm. It won't always be easy peasy lemon squeezy, but it shouldn't always be
fucking quote.
It shouldn't be difficult lemon difficult. You know what I mean?
Oh, I never heard that. Did you make that up?
I don't know. I think I heard it from a movie. But my point is like if you go to work every day and you want to cry when you walk into your work, that's not for you. I'm sorry. Like it might pay good. You might think that it's what you want, but if you're putting yourself through emotional distress every day to do something, mm-hmm. that's not what you're meant to do. I'm sorry.
Or you're staying there because you feel these ties to these people and the people you work with and stuff. if they truly love you and care about you and you have that close of a bond, they'll still be your friends if you don't work there.
Me at the bar. That was me with the bar. I stayed at the bar for 6 years because I loved the people I worked with.
And don't you wish you would have just...
I literally hated it.
Yeah, and don't you wish you could have got those years back doing something else that you liked?
Yes.
And have any of those people talked to you?
They've asked me if I've wanted other work.
Oh.
Like, hey, do you want to work at the homeless shelter during COVID? Like, no thanks. Thank you, though. I appreciate you.
But that's crazy. Like, they haven't, like, obviously your relationships weren't as strong as you thought they were.
Well, that, and like, you can love people as coworkers, but they're not always meant out to be friends.
Oh, for sure. I mean? No, positively. But yeah, that was just my point. Like, there are a million people who love soccer and want to be a soccer player, but there's not that many positions or spots. Right. And everyone should go for it. Go for it. But at the end of the day, when, like you said with your job, and you just kept getting you just realized that either this isn't the path I'm supposed to take, or I'm not a few exceptions where this just isn't going to work out for me, and there has to be another option of something else I love that will fulfill me. And because some people don't get that one thing they want, and then they just do nothing else with their lives.
Right.
Because so it's sad and distraught by it, and that's heartbreaking. Because that could have been me. I don't know. I'm only 24, so like you never know what's going to happen.
Exactly. So for example, Tyler's been watching this the basketball documentary. I forget what it's called. It's about Michael Jordan, I guess. But the one, like 10 minutes I've watched of it, he said Michael Jordan he wasn't good at basketball.
He didn't make his high school team.
He didn't make his high school team until his senior year. He kept on trying, though. All 4 of those years. Imagine how humiliating that would be for someone to just keep on going back. I tried out for basketball once in my life. Didn't make it. I was like, fuck it. Being tall is not enough.
But do you think if you kept practicing and you tried out again, you would have made it? Probably.
Exactly, yeah. But I
hated
doing things I was not good at. And that that's a flaw of mine.
But the sad thing is that you didn't even know if you were good at it or not. You didn't put any work into it. You just showed up.
Yeah.
But that's the thing I'm trying to say is you have to keep trying and trying and trying. Or if you're going to give up, you're going to give up. But if you keep trying and you keep getting knocked down, either you keep going, or
if it's a passion, work at it.
Keep working at it. But at the end of the day, there's also other things.
Exactly.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not coming off making.
I think we're making sense. I don't know.
Kind of. We're kind of making sense.
You can either change the way you see something or change that something completely.
That's what I wrote, and that's my line.
I know.
That's exactly what I'm trying to pretty much say.
Exactly. Perspective
sometimes
is so
changing the way
important.
You see something is changing the thing into a different version almost. Like,
right.
Oh, here was my example. I finally found it. You keep trying to skate. You're not a great skater. You just want to be a skater because everyone's cool, and you want to be cool, and you love skating, and you actually genuinely like it, and you just can't fucking get a grasp for it because your body is not. Your legs are a certain way. And they aren't, you hate it because you keep falling. You can either just stop, or maybe you try rollerblading. Maybe rollerblading is better, or maybe another sport's better.
Horseback riding.
Something else completely random.
I literally just threw that out there.
I know you did. Basically, my point is that we don't know what we're talking about. That was scary. I hit my lamp with my pen. But we're just trying to say you just need to take a second. The whole summary of this is to take a second and figure out what you love and give every ounce of sweat to it.
Yeah.
Until you can't anymore. And then you also need to know when to throw the towel in.
Yeah.
And start something new. Or
completely just look into yourself. You know what I mean? And figure out what you enjoy doing, right? What we were saying at the beginning of this podcast. Sorry for this 30 minutes.
Yeah, basically we made our point 5 minutes in, and then we just
kept on trying to explain it. Sorry, everyone. So sorry.
But that's the thing, though. I'm even doing it right now, where I keep trying to add to it, and almost like, if I see like one more fucking time,
it's okay,
and almost prove myself more and more by explaining it better and better. But I'm almost just making it worse.
I think
it's fine.
If you scroll down a bit,
Mm-hmm.
I think you need to talk about what you asked yourself to figure out.
I think if I read my outline, it would have looked a lot. It would have sounded a lot.
Yes.
So I asked myself, what is important to me? Holy fuck, Alanah. Just take 2 seconds and think what the hell is important to you. So I sat there and I realized that, okay, I want to have a purpose. Cool. Not sure exactly 100% what it's going to be, but I know I want to have a purpose. I love creating things. I don't mean a puzzle. I hate tedious tasks, but I mean, which is why the graphic thing is totally you do that. 'Cause I could never.
Yeah, because I love puzzles and shit.
Yeah, so I'm not a tedious, what the fuck? I can't talk. Tedious task person. So that's not a thing. Love the idea of being my own boss, having a flexible work schedule, being social, understanding and critiquing concepts. I love understanding concepts, thinking how they relate to real life things. Oh my God, love that. Challenging projects that I'm creating, being able to like have it almost is just it's me in a project kind of thing. Getting my opinions and voice heard, which is a more new, I've always liked talking and having my opinion heard, but never on a platform. So now like I'm just trying to take it my next level self, as Morgan would say.
Yes,
Jesus.
bitch. Fuck yes.
And then keeping up with what's going on in the world, 100%. And helping and standing up for people, animals, and other people who do not have the ability to talk and have a voice.
Mm-hmm.
That is a huge thing for me. I love the ability to stand up and help people who cannot help themselves because they do not have the ability to. Like children, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Animals, elderly people dementia, things like that. Like they just do not have the power to. So I was thinking to myself, how did those connect into something? What is that? And why has every other thing I've been trying to do not that? Why have I like disconnected from myself so much? So I thought, you know what? I've been so blind for so long because I've been unable to just open my eyes and actually take a look at myself. I've just been not looking. And I enjoy to do this stuff on a regular basis. So why am I not in a field of psychology? Or I love writing outlines. I could sit here for hours writing essays and outlines on things I love. So why am I not doing that as a career? Like writing, authoring, writing articles. I don't know why. It's almost like I'm afraid of people judging my writing.
Mm-hmm.
But I love to do it. So why am I not trying? And then if people say, oh, you made a mistake here or there, okay, I'll fix it and I won't do it again.
Yeah.
You just got to put it out, which is what I've learned. And even my entrepreneur course even says one of the biggest mistakes people make is not putting out a minimal viable product, which means like Facebook and Instagram, for example, they put them out at the very beginning and look how much they've grown to now. They were never what they are now 10 years ago. You got to put out the minimal viable product because you got to get it out there. You got to get feedback. You got to get this and that. You have to put it out there.
Done
like
is
our
better
first
than
podcast
perfect.
Didn't even have real microphones. We had to do so much editing because we kept making mistakes.
I have nightmares about our first podcast. I'm just kidding.
I cringe when I listen to it sometimes because we didn't really have an idea what we were doing.
And look at us now. We have Yeti mics, and that makes me a professional now.
Oh, we bought something and now we're professionals.
Honestly,
we bought our way to the top, bitches.
I like what you said about not taking a minute to look at yourself, because I think people are too scared to look within. You can always look out and judge everybody else, but you don't want to judge yourself and tell yourself, oh, we need to stop doing this. You know
it's true, because I think a few podcasts ago I was saying that my biggest pet peeve is hypocrites, right? And I wouldn't say that I'm a hypocrite, but I am a tough love kind of person, but then I do find that I'm not really tough love on myself sometimes, or I am, but then I never actually take my own advice. So that is kind of hypocritical in a way. Not saying that I'm perfect or anything, obviously. But when they say that like you don't stop to smell the roses, I think that also means with your inner self as well. Like, you don't stop to actually take a second to see what's going on with your own life. People sit there and be like, oh yeah, they gain weight. And I'll hear people say that and I'll look at them in my head and I'm like, are you 90 pounds?
Who are you
why
to
are
say?
you saying that?
Exactly.
Or people do that and it drives me nuts. Or people will be like, oh yeah, they'll make fun of people putting themselves out there. I'm sure people have made fun of us for doing this, but I just don't care anymore because
okay, make fun of me for what? A hilarious fucking podcast that gets great content out there? You're welcome.
Oh, you're welcome. She gets sassy. Don't come for us because
you're welcome.
You're welcome.
But honestly, and I think back even a year ago, but when I was going to Kenora for the first time and I'm 24 and I'm like, oh my God, I have to make friends. Like, what if they don't like me? Blah, blah, blah. Like, obviously people are going to like me. What am I?
And if people don't, then they don't. But that's not your problem. Obviously, it's your problem if you're being rude.
Yes.
Or if you're being a douchebag like that Brendan whatever.
Yeah, whatever the douchebag's name is that was writing horrible things.
Just kidding. But seriously, you just got to go with the mindset of just being the best person you can. And as you said in the past podcast, all the energy you put out is reciprocated, right?
Exactly. And just be 100% authentically yourself and good things will come to you. Put good energy out of the universe. The universe will send it back. I was in, did I tell you guys about when I was in this program, this free program, and I had to write my biggest takeaways about each of the guest speakers that came to speak in this mindset program. So I wrote all of my biggest takeaways for the speakers, and me and my family were watching because there was a draw at the end of the week. Each of the speakers were giving out prizes. And I said, I'm going to win this prize, this prize, and this prize. And everybody's like, oh, okay, Morgan. But my mom is also into mindset and manifesting. So we're sitting there putting out all of our energy. I'm like, oh, thank you. Like before the draw is even done, I'm like, I'm so excited to take this course that I'm going to win. I can't wait. Look at me. I won 3 things. I won an ebook and a position in another course. And I forget what else I won, but I won.
You just won so much.
I won 3 things and they were all meant for me. They all have helped me. I've read every single thing. And
okay, so I'm bringing you to buy a lottery ticket with me is what I've learned.
Yeah. Like it's just like things are meant for you. And if you put out the right energy, it'll come for you. And that's all I want to, like, that's all I literally say. That's all I've repeated this whole podcast is be authentically yourself, put out the positive energy, do it for yourself and nobody else, and everything will come to you. If I don't say another thing the rest of the podcast, I'm set.
Oh. Sorry, I'm Googling what time you can buy a lottery ticket till on draw night. Okay, so you have till 10:30 at night to buy the lottery ticket for the draw that night.
What time is the draw? 11?
11 on every Friday, I think it is.
Interesting.
I'm just saying I have a feeling.
I've only played the lottery once.
Yeah.
Do it. I've only played the lottery once. It's because I think I was 18. I was driving my old beat up Camry. It barely got me to the gas station that I bought the ticket from. I had this biggest feeling that I was going to win. I was like, fuck yes, I've got this. So I go buy my lottery ticket, nothing. And so I've never played the lottery since. Oh,
it doesn't just happen like that. But I have no luck with those things either. Any birthday I've got like scratch tickets, or some nights if I were by a corner store or getting gas, once in a while, every maybe 6, 7, 8, 9 months, I'll be like, no, I'll get a cash for life. And I'll like take one.
Yeah.
Very rarely. Lately, a little more often because I'm like, oh, I'm bored. Like, why not? Play a game. I've never won anything. I think I won $4 once.
Nice.
Like, it's quite sad. I went to bingo once with my aunt on my birthday, and we won a few $100s.
Ooh.
And that was a big deal for me because I don't win prizes or things ever.
Well, no, when we went to bingo, it went downhill quick. And you can't even buy alcohol there.
No, we were pissed. What place doesn't have alcohol when it's like
gambling.
It's a gambling. Like, you can get alcohol at the casino.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Don't bring me to this casino when it
No,
opens.
we're going to Rama as soon as this whole thing's over for like a concert and stuff. Once everyone's safe to do that stuff, guys. Sorry.
Come up to Winnipeg and
Ew.
do one there.
I don't want to go to Winnipeg. Like, that
Your
was
face.
Well, the introduction to it. Come up to Winnipeg like it's like some hot place to go. No, thank you.
We'll go to a ball game, a B-level ball game.
I always make jokes with some of my friends. Yeah. I always make jokes where we're like, as soon as this is over, plane. It's off from a TikTok. Other plane. To a bar. Other bar. Club. To a mall that's going to bring us while we're going to shop around until the plane's ready. Other plane. To a different to a different tropical place. Like, once this is over, every weekend.
Ooh.
Something different, because I'm going crazy.
Yeah, dude. I get it.
You're one of my only friends I've seen in months.
Over
obviously
video.
FaceTime. Yeah, well, obviously I FaceTime my friends. But before this all happened, I saw you and my friend Julia, and I haven't seen anyone else.
Honestly.
In the flesh.
Right. So
it's
crazy. So crazy.
It's so crazy. But it's okay.
Because this is our path, man. This literally brought us to
like,
where we are today.
We could have used it as an excuse. This could have been used as an excuse not to record.
We tried.
Using Zoom. I tried.
We tried. No, we tried. We were like, we don't have microphones. My cousin's like, that's bullshit. And we're
you
like,
don't need microphones.
That's bullshit.
Like, okay. Can't be together. It's fine. We're still doing it.
Sorry, we can't be together, but it's fine. We're still doing it.
Like, I glitched.
You're lagging hardcore. You were like,
we're lagging hard.
I think this is I think
you're like neck was like
oh my god. Oh god. I think, did we hit the nail on the head? Like, did we make it? Did we do what we said we were going to do at the beginning of this podcast?
No, I'm not too sure. I didn't hear a thing you said. I heard nail head.
Did we make our point?
More to it.
Did we make our point?
I think we tried. I think we
did our best.
I think I missed something I really want to say, though.
Okay. While you look for it. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say it.
Okay, go. Yeah.
I just wanted this to be for everyone who is finding in this world, this very crazy world where it almost feels every day that other people have it better, they have more skills, they have more passion, or are you limiting yourself to do something? You just need, sometimes it's trial and error, sometimes it's taking a break to just think about it, trying to really are tough, and that usually brings out a little thing. Obviously, I'm not figure things out. We both are, but we just wanted to kind of give a little podcast about how we out and where we're and how we try to learn just from basically doing something really difficult. And I know people might, like we already said, this podcast, well, it's not difficult. Okay, it might not be for you, but for us, it was. Mm-hmm. And I think any new project is hard. And we put ourselves out there and we tried and we learned so much from it that it's actually changed our lives. And I think it doesn't have to be a podcast. You could literally start a blog or an article. You could start a pillow company from the ground up. You could love pillows.
You could literally decide and it's to go out hard. One day. Yeah. Take a class. Or a class,
yeah, maybe you haven't gone to school in 10 years.
Because to me, that's what changed my life, is signing up for one of those mindset classes. And then that's what kind of started this podcast. You know what I mean? That was out of my comfort zone. I did it.
I know, because I called Morgan the day before and I said, hey, this is the perfect time to start a podcast. And she said, I don't know. Like, we don't have microphones. And I'm pretty busy. And I have to go to Kenora for the summer. That's how you said it. Just like
I
that.
know. Exactly. Probably.
And I was like, okay, whatever. We'll just wait another year. And then the next day, she's like, hee 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 hee. She called me.
It was like I had a one-on-one with my cousin who just
And
called
I'm
bullshit
ready.
on all of our excuses.
Yeah.
And we're doing this.
We're doing it.
And we
and
did
now
it.
we're here. And now we're here. We're getting better and better every week. We're trying. And
every
even
week,
if one person listens, we're still going to do them. So
exactly. I don't care who listens. It could be my mom. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Mommy.
Hi, Mom.
Mamacita.
Mamacita. It could be Mom. And like, that's okay, because I know that whoever listens to this is going to take out of it what they need to hear that day.
Exactly. That's a good point. What they need. You may have got nothing from the middle, nothing from the beginning or the end. Maybe you just got a few laughs, but that's what you needed.
And you know what?
A
Go
laugh.
back and listen to it in a week and you'll get something different out of it.
The face
You
she
will.
did, you guys can't see it, but she's like, you're going to get something out of this.
But it's that I can't go out any further because
no, we can't. We're just
it's probably been over an hour and a half, and
yeah.
I think this is the podcast.
This is what?
I think this is the podcast. I think we've summed it up perfectly.
Oh, we tried, yeah. And we love you guys.
And
so thanks for listening.
Thank you so much. Thanks for making it this far. If you did,
leave
a comment.
We keep saying to like and 5-star, but there's no 5-star option besides on YouTube. So you're gonna have to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Really? 5-star on Apple Music? Yes, there is. There's an option. Yes.
What?
Please leave a 5-star rating. Leave us a review. Let us know what you got from this. Please go to our YouTube channel. Find us, Unaccompanied Millennials Podcast.
Don't find where we live, though. Jesus.
Find us on YouTube, Unaccompanied Millennials. Subscribe. You'll never miss an episode. Go on Instagram and or Twitter. And follow us.
Twitter. And
follow us at You Millennials Pod.
Follow. Like a robot.
I know. I just need people to know because
You're being aggressive.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right, do all of those things. Please let us know what you got from this. Or
just keep listening. If you're not a person to like I'm not like that, so then just keep tuning in. Whatever
just keep
floats your boat.
Please, and just let us know what you enjoyed and what you want us to touch upon if you want us to do anything specific.
Yeah, and just so you guys know, if you made it this far, you get a little exclusive, little sneak peek. We are going to start making actual videos, like videotapes of us, like with the podcast with our studio once this whole thing's over. Just an FYI.
Once I'm back from Kenora in the summer, September, October. Ish.
Or we'll start recording our Zooms in either one.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to put on a bra for that, though.
Oh.
I'm not ready to go back to work.
Do my hair. Yeah.
So thank you guys so much for listening. As always, stay safe, stay healthy.
And stay connected. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.